Hey guys, this is the check your work video for the real world situation equation practice pages. We're going to be looking at numbers 6 and 7. I know 7 seems a bit challenging, but we'll get through it together. And I will be using two different colors for Juliana's problem. Number 6, I'm going to be using the orange, and then I will pick a different color for number 7, especially since number 7 does take a lot more spatial reasoning and thinking, so we're definitely going to be drawing and using a different color for that one. Juliana buys 7.5 meters of ribbon to make bows. There's our first value. 7.5 meters. 7.5. She wants to use the same amount of ribbon. This should tell us that we're using a variable of ribbon for each bow. If she makes 5 bows, how many meters of ribbon should she use for each bow? Right, and solve an equation. So we have 7.5. She already bought that much, so that's how much she has. And she wants to make 5 bows, but she doesn't know how much each bow is going to get, so that's going to be our variable there. So actually, I'm going to use a B for bow. I'm going to use M. Let's see if it'll erase. Okay. So we're going to use B for bow. 5B. So first, what is the operation happening in the equation? 5 and B are being multiplied, so I need to divide this side by 5 and this side by 5 to get B by itself and to balance the equation. So 5 divided by 5 is 0, so B is now by itself. I'm not going to mentally math this, I'm going to actually do it over here so I can see it a bit easier. 7.5. Remember that when we divide decimals, we need to put the decimal value or the decimal point. Just bring it right on up here. This tells us that whatever value is here, there's only one number that's going to go in front of the decimal point. So 5 divided into 7 can only happen once. Bring 5 times 1 is 5. Then I subtract this. 7 minus 5 is 2. I cannot do anything with that 2 by itself, so I have to bring down this 5. And then, how many times does 5 go into 25? 5 times. 5 times 5 is 25, so there's nothing left over. So how many meters of ribbon does she use for each bow? She should use 1.5 meters per bow. Oh man. Okay. Now to get to the fun question, which I'm sure you're all like, what the heck does this even say? Trust me, I felt the same way. I am not good with geometry. Oh no, when I'm now drawing all over everything. I like got stuck on click mode or something. I need to erase this. Okay. See, it didn't even happen. Alright, Henry knows that the area of a rectangle is 30 square inches. So first, I'm going to just draw this rectangle because I need to see it. I don't even know what I'm doing if I'm not able to see it. So rectangle, and I know that the inside value is 30. The whole area is the inside. Okay. The perimeter is 22 inches. Okay? If the length is 1 inch, so this is the length, this is the width. If the length is 1 inch longer than the width, what are the length and widths of Henry's rectangle? Explain how you know. So I know that the length is 1 inch longer than the width. So this tells me that L equals the width plus 1. I also know that area, I don't have really many inverted right, I'll write it right here. area equals length times width. So what times what equals 30? 10 times 3, but 3 plus 1 is 4, so this can't be right, because this would have to equal 10. So my first step then would be to write out all the factors of 30. So I have 1 and 30. I have 2 and 15. I have 3 and 10. 4 is not a factor. 5 is a factor. 5 and 6. Oh, okay, let's look at this. 5 and 6. If my width was 5, that'd be 5 plus 1 equals 6. So this could work because if my length is 6 and my width is 5, it meets two criteria so far, right? 5 times 6 is 30, and we know that if I put a 5 here, 5 plus 1 is 6, which would be another true part, but we are also need to make sure that the perimeter equals 22. So we need to make sure that if I add all the sides up, it equals 22. So 6 plus 5, so this is two sides, 6 plus 5 is 11. This side would be 6 again. So that's be 17. And 17 plus 5. So we have 17 plus 5 would be 22, right? 6 plus 6 is 12 plus 5 is 5. So 12 plus 10 is 22. So we know the length is 6 inches. And we know the width would be 5 inches. And the explanation for this would be that 5 times 6 equals 30, which is true of the area that we are given. And we know that 5 plus 1 equals 6, which it is what the problem tells us, that the width plus 1 is equal to the length, so that part makes sense. And when you add 5 plus 6 plus 5 plus 6, you get 22. So it meets all three of the criteria that are given in the problem. I hope this helped you kind of figure it out a little bit better, because I'm sure that it hurt your head as much as it hurt mine. So there it is there. If you like problems like this, I feel eternally grateful to you, because I do not get them. Like, they hurt my head. And if you're in the boat with me, well, just know you're gonna be fine, because it hurt my head too. Alright, talk to you guys later.